Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Abigail Fisher, the plaintiff in the affirmative action case involving the University of Texas at Austin, she wasn't a bad student. She had a B+ average. She scored 1190 on her SATs. Her grades were good enough to get her into Louisiana State University, where she wound up. She grew up in a two-parent home, and as a matter of fact, both of her parents had attended the university UTA, which means she received extra consideration because she was a legacy student. It seems odd to me that people who are dead set against affirmative action don't seem to have any problem with legacy programs, which give students preference just because their parents or relatives attended a particular university. But despite these advantages, poor old Abigail did not get into UTA. Tedra Jacobs, a young black girl, the daughter of a single mother who managed to live in the suburbs because she enrolled in an anti-poverty housing program, did get into UTA. Now, when she first got to the suburbs and went to school, one of her teachers decided that she was slow and wanted her held back a year. But the truth was, she was really bright and wound up taking advanced courses for gifted children. She had a B+ average also, scored 100 points higher than Abigail Fisher in her SATs. And she continued to thrive when she got to UTA and is now enrolled in pre-med. So who deserved to get into UTA more? The poor black kid who had to work harder, fight harder, and overcome the prejudice of some of her teachers, or at least one of her teachers, or the white kid with all the advantages? UTA also made a statement that Abigail Fisher's academic index was just not high enough to get her into the school. Don't forget, UTA is the University of Texas at Austin, is kind of the crown jewel of the Texas university system. There's a lot of competition to get in there. And the university made a statement that her academic index was just not high enough to get her into the school, no matter what race she was. Now, it is true that the university did let in some students with lower grades and test scores, but only 5 of those students were black or Latino. 42 were white. And it's also true that 168 black and Latino students with higher grades and test scores than Abigail Fisher were turned down and didn't get into UTA. Fisher was offered the chance to attend UTA in her sophomore year if she achieved a GPA of 3.2 at another Texas university. She declined. So the idea that Abigail Fisher did not get into UTA because of her race is absurd. This is probably why the lawyers in the case barely mentioned her name in their legal briefs and instead made generalized arguments against affirmative action. And this was probably why the justices decided, the 5 conservative justices decided to punt this case despite their general hostility to affirmative action. This was not the case they were hoping for. Affirmative action had nothing to do with her not attending University of Texas at Austin. Her lawyers knew it, and so did she. Thanks for listening.